Hi, my name is Sean Burns. I'm the CEO of Outlier, and I'd like to talk to you about the end of business intelligence. Businesses today, we're made up of people and brands and products, but business intelligence is how we understand what's going on. The analytics, the numbers, the metrics, that's how we know how our business is doing, what's happened previously, and what's probably going to happen in the future. And to date, business intelligence has given us a lot of benefits. Your data that you have today compared to just 5 to 10 years ago is massively more important and more valuable for making better decisions. But business is moving fast, and that data is expanding fast as well. And we find ourselves at a point where what we call business intelligence today is going to come to an end. Well, what's next? Let's talk about that and why it's important and how it will shape how business decisions are made in the coming years. And to start with, I'd like to talk about this. I know it looks like I scribbled on a piece of paper, and I do scribble, but not in this case. This is actually all of the data for a single company, all of their marketing campaigns over the course of a week. And it doesn't look like that. It looks like a bunch of squiggles, and that's because it's really the raw data. We as humans, we're not good at looking at raw data. It's very hard to discern value, and there's a lot going on here. Our job as human beings is much more around assessing decision making and finding patterns. And while you can see some general patterns in the data here, it's very hard to extract value just from this chaos. And really, that's why we have business intelligence. We take this and we transform it into dashboards. Those dashboards have metrics and charts that are summarizations of that raw data. They give it context, they give it form, they allow us to make decisions that we need to make about our business. So instead of staring at raw data and trying to somehow interpret it, we do that interpretation through these metrics to create these dashboards. And the metrics that we choose to track are important. They're usually based on questions about our business that we know to ask. Things like, what is my revenue and how many customers do I have? And we all have dashboards. It's how often we start our day and how we know when our decisions are working and what decisions we need to make in the future. Well, of course, that's kind of true. We never quite have one dashboard, do we? We often find that there's that one product or one system we use, or maybe it's more like 5 or 6 systems we use that don't fit because they aren't compatible with our dashboarding system, or we somehow can't get them unified in our data warehouse. So we have a second one, and we check that one too. So we check 2 or 3 or 4 or dozen dashboards every day, or just to check our metrics of our business. And then for some reason that I just failed to understand, we always have to go back to spreadsheets, no matter how sophisticated our tools have gotten. And today they're very sophisticated, very powerful. We still have to use spreadsheets for that final stage of understanding what's going on, to look at those metrics and chart them out and create the decision-making points or the PowerPoint presentations or whatever we use to run our business. And in this world of data getting so complicated, why have our tools not done a better job of keeping up? Why is it that I still have to check 3 or 4 different systems? Why do we always fall back on spreadsheets? And how is that really helping me make decisions? Well, the reality is that the growth of cloud computing and the rise of big data in the last 5 to 10 years mean that there's so many tools out there today to run your business, and in fact, run your business very well. Your business probably uses at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen tools to run the business, including marketing automation tools, analytics tools, payment systems, customer support systems, CRM, the list goes on and on. And those systems are very powerful. They essentially have become fountains of data about your business. Every year, they're producing twice, 10 times as much data, and that data is valuable. More nuance in your customers, more information about their behavior and demographics, information on what's driving the business forward and what's not. But it's coming from so many sources and it's growing so quickly that it's not surprising our existing coping mechanisms are not keeping up. There's a point where if your business is generating twice as much data next year as it is this year, and then twice again the year after that, and twice again the year after that, the amount of data you have can't be summarized in simple metrics on a dashboard. There's too much nuance, there's too many things going on. There has to be a better way. We're reaching a point where the growth of data in the enterprise is just overwhelming our coping mechanisms. So what do we do? What does the future look like? How do we get past it? Well, I think back to a metaphor of something we're all familiar with and a change that's very similar that happened, which was the move from paper maps. We all remember paper maps. It's how we used to get around. I used to sit down in my car with a paper map. I'd figure out where I was. I'd figure out where I was going. I'd chart a course. And I got lost once and maybe twice. And actually, I got lost quite a lot. But, I would eventually find my way to where I was going. And it was the best that we had. For hundreds of years, paper maps were the best way to get around. In a lot of ways, they served us well. But modern transportation got so complicated that eventually we realized there had to be a better way. And a new technology came along that fundamentally changed the way we navigate. And that technology was GPS. And now, with a GPS unit, all I have to do is tell it where I'm going. It knows where I am, it knows traffic conditions, it knows construction, it can route me the fastest possible route, and all I need to do is focus on driving. We need this kind of change in business. We need to move away from the dashboards and charts that are the paper maps of today to a world where we have GPS for our business. We can focus on driving instead of focus and worried about where we are and trying to navigate ourselves. And the good news is that technology is here. It's not in the future. That technology is artificial intelligence. And the promise of what it can do for our companies will make the existing state-of-the-art of business intelligence only part of the answer. It can upgrade our experience in running our business in the same way GPS improved and changed our ability to navigate around the world. So imagine with me for a second a world where the first thing in the morning, you don't check your dashboards. You're not checking charts and graphs. What you're doing is getting an email in your inbox every morning from your business saying these are the things you need to know about what's going on. And those things may be about revenue for certain product lines in certain countries, or customer deals that are at risk, or maybe it's about demographics of customers that are shifting because you're losing college students but gaining senior citizens. Whatever it is you need to know about your business is showing up there, a handful of key important things you need to know. You don't need to look at a dashboard or two or a dozen dashboards and try to discern for yourself. Your business is talking to you. The data is speaking to you and saying these are the things that you need to know, the things you have to care about. And what if you're not the only person getting that? Everyone in your organization is getting a similar update about the things they need to know to do their jobs. Your marketing managers are getting updates about their ad campaigns and their email marketing, what's working, what's not working, so they can adjust and adapt and get better performance. Your product managers are getting updates on product usage. How are customers using their products? What features are going well? What customer support requests are changing? How are customers feeling about your products over time? Your finance group is understanding nuances about your revenue, about your payments, about things that a human being could never find because we couldn't look at all the different dimensions of every metric and find the relationship simultaneously. This is a future where everyone in your business has the equivalent of a business analyst assigned to them, sitting next to them every day, working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, looking at everything you could possibly need to know and pulling out those few important insights that drive your decision making and make you better. This is a future that can happen driven by artificial intelligence systems that can look through data and understand it and accelerate in ways that we can as human beings. And this isn't just science fiction. This is happening today. What you see here is an actual story written by a computer about an important change in a business. In this case, it was an e-commerce business. And what it found was that there was a very high relationship between people visiting the checkout page, as you can imagine, and growth of sales. As you would imagine, if people are checking out for your product, you'd sell more. Except for a period of time you see there in orange where those two things were not related at all. And the fact that they weren't related, that people were going to this page but not actually resulting in a sale, that's an important thing to know about your business. This is an important thing that this business should know. And it only happened for a while, only for a few days. And then it went back to the way that it had been. And so this is a question, can you really check every page of your website and every user action to think about those relationships and pull out any time when they don't look like they should? The answer is you can't. There's just too many. Your business is too complicated. But artificial intelligence software systems can, and they can bring these to you, collect the context and the information you need to evaluate it and make a decision, and present it to you just like this, so that you as a human being can actually analyze, decide, and then take an action. It's a great meeting of technology and humans, where the technology, the software, could never understand your business. It would never know what to do with this. But the software can explore your data for you. It can extract important insights, things that are unexpected, things that are changing, things you need to know, and present them to you in a way that you can actually use to make decisions. And this is happening today. This is actually live. It's very exciting. And this doesn't replace your dashboards. Your dashboards have important information. You need to know your revenue. You have to know your users. There's things your dashboards have that you need to know. This complements that. These analysis services will actually provide more value by filling in the blind spot behind your dashboard, the things that those metrics might be hiding, the things that only exist below the surface of your business. And used together, they ensure you don't have any blind spots about your business. There's never a question of what you're missing or what you've seen. You'll always be in control. And this is an extension of what I call the business intelligence value chain. It starts today with collection. How do you collect data from all the different parts of your business? From your CRM system, from user behavior on your website. You collect all the different bits and pieces of what you need to know. And then you store it somewhere. And today, storage platforms are very powerful. They store almost limitless amounts of data in the cloud or on your premise and allow you to ask immediate questions and get sub-second responses to almost anything you could ask. And then data visualization systems. They're enormously powerful. They've become a way to actually create a chart or graph, a dashboard of anything in your business anywhere. And it's been democratized. Today you have people, anyone in your organization, in fact, can actually create a graph or a chart or a dashboard about whatever they need to know. This new step, this new artificial intelligence system, I call automated analysis, and it's the next step in this value chain. And that step actually makes all the other steps more valuable. This automated analysis system, in finding these insights, in asking these questions, makes everything else more useful. So it makes your visualization tools more useful because now I don't need to wonder about what charts I should make, what metrics should I track, what dashboards do I need. Based on the analysis, those should become clear. Analysis is going to highlight what's going on and where you need to be on top of your business. And that makes visualization more valuable. For storage and collection, the question is always, am I collecting the right things? Am I storing the right data? Do I actually know what I need to know? And by the way, do I ever break it? Is there ever a problem with my data collection? Is there ever a problem with my storage? Are there ever data quality issues that would affect my visualization and lead me to misunderstandings or mistaken decision making? Well, the great thing about automated analysis is that it can look across every bit and every byte, every dimension, every metric in your collection, in your storage system, and let you know when things are changing in unexpected ways, and let you know if and when you may have data quality problems. And in adding this extra step to the value chain, we've actually finally fulfilled the promise of artificial intelligence and machine learning in the world of business intelligence, is that it's made us better. It's augmented our human ability to understand our business with something that we couldn't do before. So let's revisit that chaotic data we used to have, the metrics that just looked like some sort of impressionistic art form. We can't understand this as humans, and so we summarize this into metrics. But in doing so, we lose so much information. We lose all the nuance. We lose the things that we otherwise would gain from looking at the data in its full dimensionality and the full glory. But the automated analysis system can. It can highlight for us what we need to know and when we need to know it in that data, providing the context and decision that we can then use as humans to move forward. So we no longer need to summarize this raw data into simplified, abstract KPIs and hope we don't miss anything in the process of doing that. We can actually look at the full power of that data and extract value. I think about this as a series of waves of innovation. The first wave of innovation that you probably remember in the last few years was centralization. Can we bring all our data together in the same place into a data warehouse or a data lake or whatever we call big databases these days? I don't know. But really it was a promise of trying to collect these pieces of your business so that you wouldn't have to collect one thing from here and one thing to there. And we've had mixed success, but largely people now do have warehouses of data for their business. Which led to the next wave, data visualization. This was the ability to, again, create a chart or a graph from anything that might exist in my business, and it was built on top of that data centralization because now if my data was in one place, or at least a few places, I could visualize it easily. I could explore it in ways that weren't possible before. But both of these waves were about better answers. And better answers suppose that you know the question. And what hopefully is coming through is that today, most business leaders, they don't understand the questions. The data is growing too fast. It's hard to know with so much data at your disposal that those questions are really the right questions. And that's the great thing about this next wave that we're only just starting to go on, is that it's about better questions. Automated analysis is going to help us understand the questions we should be asking about our business so that we can look back over the data visualization and everything else we do so that those answers are the right answers. Because if automated analysis gets us those better questions, we know that the answers we're getting are the right answers. And then we know we're moving our business in the right direction. We're using data as a weapon to compete. In 5 years, I believe very firmly that every company will be using some form of automated analysis. We see such a transformational change in companies that adopt it and how they use data and how they accelerate forward that it will become as common as GPS is for navigation. And really, if you think about it, in a world where companies are using analysis automation, you'll have to. It'll be a competitive disadvantage not to. A company using automated analysis is going to know when hidden opportunities arise in their data, when there are problems that are happening. Those are enormously competitive advantages against somebody who doesn't know. So if you're using your gut intuition or trying to summarize your data into KPIs, there's things you'll miss. There's things you just won't see in your data, and automated analysis can catch those for you. And it's very exciting because this is a future that's happening now. It's not science fiction. There are products today that you can use as part of this process. You can install an automated analysis system tomorrow and start to see how it transforms your business decision making. And I can only imagine how the power of these tools will expand in the next few years, so that in 5 years, when this is so widely adopted, the amount of work that it can do for you, so that you don't spend days in dashboards and charts and graphs or spreadsheets, but spend time in decision making, is going to be amazing. We here at Outlier are proud to be part of this. We're one of the first analysis automation platforms for business. If you'd like to see how this future looks and see if it might help for your business, we'd love to give you a demo.